Hey guys, so I hope you guys have had a good Sunday so far. Uh, it's pushing 7 o'clock, and kind of around the evening time is when I start getting settled and kind of looking at the charts to see what my game plan for the week will be on the market. But I was reading my DMs, and I came across someone asking me, can I explain how to trade support and resistance, or what does that mean to trade support and resistance? So it's a fairly simple concept, but I think some of the things that get people confused. It's like supply and demand zones, or like trading multiple support and resistance. Yes, you can't have multiple support and resistance levels, okay? Because at some point these levels have to be broken, and once they're broken, they're on to the next. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you guys to the charts. I picked out Tesla. Um, I just picked that one because mainly they had these levels that I was watching some time back. If you've been watching some of my videos, you'll know that these same little levels were some that we were talking about before. And so I'm going to use that chart on the hourly to kind of give this quick lesson on support and resistance and what it means and how do you enter and exit these trades when you are trading. So let's get right into it. Now, when you're trading support and resistance, this could be a fairly simple, very simple way to trade. It's important that you know what stock you're trading. Okay. You want to understand how it moves, how often it may or may not break support and resistance. And that's by looking to the left of the charts and looking for other support and resistance levels. How long did it hold? What levels did it break? Where it's bouncing? All of that. So the first thing that we're going to look at, where is resistance? Resistance is up at the top. So we're just going to call this R. R is at top. That is our resistance, or it could be called a rejection level. All right, this is a level that the price is just not breaking over. Okay, so let me put over here real quick. We got R, which would be resistance. Okay, and then we're gonna have S, which will be our support level. Okay, and we're gonna leave this over here. All right, now let's look at the levels. So if you say, I want to get into a put, and what you're going to do is you enter puts at resistance, okay, and then you will exit at support. All right, so if resistance is at the top, that just simply means that support is at the bottom, and that could be around this little area right up in here. All right, and with support is a cushion at the bottom. Okay, this acts as a level of saying, okay, when the price gets back to this level, this price point, this area, it could potentially push back up to the upside. All right, so if you want to get into calls, all right, you're going to wait for the price to get back to one of these lower levels here at support. So once it gets here, let's just say you decide to enter here. Okay, you're going to ride this thing back up to that resistance level here, and you're going to exit, and you're going to enter here. Okay, and it's the exact same way when you are doing with puts. When you're at resistance, okay, let's just say you enter here and you say, okay, if this is support down here, I'm going to enter there, and then I'm going to exit my trade here once we get back down there to that support level. All right, so it's just a simple matter of finding levels that have consistent rejection, and potential bounces could take place where you could use it to time your entries and your exit. All right, now let's look at one final thing, and it's important to understand so that you don't mess yourself up using old levels to determine what side of the trade you're looking to enter. Okay, when support or resistant breaks, it becomes the opposite. I'm just gonna do op. Okay, it becomes the op. Now, what that means is when support is broken, it becomes resistance, and when resistance is broken, it becomes support. And we have a good example right up in this area. So you see here what has happened at Rejection, rejection, rejection. Boom. It finally breaks to the upside. And look what happens. You got some rejection here, which is another resistance level up here. And what happened? It pushed back down, but it did not break back below that. This resistance here is now a support level. And so because it did not break, we could probably watch this little level here as a support to push back to the upside. And as you can see, it pushed all the way up. Okay. So when levels are broken, they become their opposite. Okay. So let's look down here real quick at this. There's not really much at this little part here to show, but let's just say the price broke here, and now it's coming down, it's pushing back up a little bit, it boom hits that, it's rejecting, it hits it again, it's rejecting, come back down. Okay, this right here was the support, but now that it's broken, it's now acting as a resistance for the price, so it's not quite getting back over it. Okay, so that is just simply how you would play. You will enter into calls at support. Okay, you enter calls here, and then you will enter into puts at your resistance level. Okay, all right, that means you let's going down here, and then calls means that it's going up. That is how you will play support and resistance. So you always wait for confirmation, because support and resistance levels do not hold forever. Okay, now this is the 1 hour time frame, so this held for a good bit. Okay, it definitely held for a good bit. So you see, we have that here. We got this down here, but look what happens. It pushed all the way up. So now what you got to do is go and look for other support and resistance. So yes, you can have multiple support. Okay, you can have multi support and resistance levels. So if this was the resistance here, this right here might act as another level of resistance. You see how hard that rejection was right there? Okay, now we may have a little bit of rejection here, which is another resistance. And we keep going further up. Same thing with our support down here. We got support here. It might break. We might look at this little level here with some rejection, and we could be coming there. That breaks. We may be coming down here to this level again. Okay, so these levels don't hold forever. You just have to play accordingly and watch the particular time frame that you're on to give you a general idea of how long this thing may hold. And also depends on how long you're planning on being in your play that you're looking to play support or resistance. But if you're day trading and you're looking to be in this thing for a short period of time, support and resistance can work. It just all depending on the type of move that you're looking to take place. And that was as simple as that. So it's all about when you're trading support and resistance. First thing first, okay, when you are picking a particular time frame, you need to be sure that it's matching the trade of style, and that I mean the style of trading that you're doing. All right. So if you are scalping, you won't be looking for a support or resistance on the hourly. Now, maybe if you go to the hourly charts and just mark some levels out, go back to the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, and kind of see where those levels lie on those charts. But the main charts that you will be looking at needs to fit the style of trading that you will be doing when you're finding certain levels. Because if you're in the 1 minute time frame and you're looking for support and resistance there, and you're saying, okay, I'm about to get in and out of this thing in the next 1-2 minutes, just in and out. Okay, you need to make sure that it's touching the proper levels and that you're looking at the right time frames. All right, so support and resistance for me personally, I mostly look for it on the 5 and the 15 if I'm doing any kind of day trading. Now, you can look for it on higher time frame when you are looking to do some plays that you're possibly holding. And when it comes to doing support and resistance on plays that I'm holding, it has to be me. Okay, let me put it like this. I mostly like to look for certain patterns when I'm holding, like let's say the head and shoulders inverted, double tops and double bottoms, stars. Okay, things like that. When I'm looking at support and resistance, because I know how easily a support and resistance level can be broken, I don't primarily focus on those on higher time frames, or I don't focus on those on longer plays. Okay, some I'm holding a week, 2 weeks, and things like that. Can you? Yes, it just all depends. It's up to you personally. Once you learn how to trade certain things on the chart, do what works for you. Look for them on higher time frames, look for them on smaller time frames. However, you feel comfortable trading and whatever you feel comfortable trading with, as far as levels that you're looking at, or patterns that you're looking for, or rejections and support that you're looking for. Do that. Okay, so it's not something for me to say what you should do. It's just do whatever works for you and what works best. Okay, so trading support and resistance is not hard. Most people, that's all they do. They get in those charts for the day. They have no desire to be in there too long. They put their money in, they hit resistance or hit support, they exit their trade, and they're done. Okay, that is a very simple way to trade, and it is possible. And like I said, don't overdo it. You don't have to overdo it. If that's the simplest thing that you get and understand, and it's making you some change in that market, stick to it and do it. Okay, so you just got to go in, test it out for yourself, see how you like trading it, and if it's something that you want to add to your trading arsenal for you to use in the future. And before you go, don't forget to go down in the description and get your trading journal and track those trades. Okay, so every trade and position that you enter, you take it and you document it in your trading journal, so that if it was a win, why was it a win, what went well, what didn't go well. But even if you still won, there are some things that might not have went well, right? You could have exited sooner, so forth. If it was a loss, why did you lose? Is it the same reason why you might have lost your last play? All of that goes in your trading journal, and you guys can find it down below in the description. And with that, I will see you guys again soon.